Oh no. Oh no. Fuck. Hi. I've never made a video like this, but I thought it might be kind of, I don't know how many people would be interested in something like this, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a video kind of capturing how I have been making these remix songs. I don't know if anybody's gonna watch this, but thought it'd be kind of fun. So today I'm gonna be remixing something from Tame Impala's new album, The Slow Rush. This is gonna be something that's used in Middle Eight's video. He's gonna be doing a video on his new album. I'm gonna be sampling, I think I'm gonna do It Might Be Time, and we'll see how it turns out. I don't really have a plan, so I'm kind of just gonna wing it. I also wanted to say I am not a experienced professional producer. I'm operating on an old version of Logic. My setup, I don't have a lot of equipment, and it's pretty much just me and my cat trying to figure this out. If anybody with a lot of experience is watching this video, then I apologize, because a lot of the way that I do things is probably gonna infuriate you. So I'll do my best though. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna listen through the song, and I'm gonna chop up points that I think I wanna use later on. My cat likes to give his input a lot, so if you hear him meowing in the background, I apologize. Everyone's a critic. Alright, so I'm basically going to take all of these cuts and just throw them in my keyboard. So we'll create a new track. Sampler instrument. We're going to take all of these. Make sure I got them all. Yep. And we're gonna put them right in there. And like I said, my workflow is not good, and I'm well aware of that, but this is how I learned, so. And now, we're gonna take that and make it one shot so that we can have nice little cuts. What this does, this little thing here, it just makes it a little smoother so it's not like cutting in too hard. I think I'm gonna slow it down just a little bit to see if we can make it a little more chill. Not that much. Let's see. If you haven't heard Tame Impala's new album, The Slow Rush, you should definitely check it out. It's awesome. And it kind of has like a trance vibe to it, so kind of the direction that we're going with this is to make it kind of trancey and make it kind of hypnotic. So that's what I'm going to be going for here. First thing I'm going to do though is make sure that I got a good tempo for this sample. So now I'm just going to try and figure out something to do here. See what we can do. Let's try that. Let's just try it. Alright, that was a little bit messed up, but we're gonna highlight all that, quantize it, make sure I'm still good. This one here is overstays its welcome a little bit. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of EQ it a little bit. Kind of isolate the sound that I'm wanting. Before I do that, actually, let me Don't laugh at my default thing here. I just kind of need to get rid of that. Goodbye. Alright, I'm just gonna duplicate that so I can do more with another sample. And I'm gonna kind of I like to just use a lot of the default stuff and then just kind of adjust it to what I'm trying to get. So I think the first thing I'm gonna try, I don't know, let's try this. Oh no. I don't think that's a good starting point. Maybe if I bring this down a bit, cut some of this out. Actually, what am I doing? Let me go to keyboards. How about like a bright or vintage? Let me just hear that real quick. I'm just gonna loop this. I'll take some of that bass out. I think that's kind of cool. It's kind of got like a vintage vibe. I think we definitely need a little reverb here. I think I'm just gonna get like a little basic drum pattern in there to kind of just give it like a little body. That'll also kind of help me like figure out what I want to do next. Oh, we crashed. Let's open that back up. Oh no. Oh no. Fuck. No! So everything crashed and I had to re-chop the entire sample. And there's also a cat meowing and a dog barking above me. So if you are disturbed by that, I apologize. But I'm going to try and see if I can get something good going again with this sample. And we'll see what happens. Get down, buddy. So I was playing around with these little things here. So I might try to see what I can do with that. Alright, by the way, if you don't want to end up like me, save often. Because re-chopping that entire sample really sucked. I'm gonna go ahead and copy that a few times. And then just, let's get a little drum in there, maybe a kick drum in there. I think I was working with that one, and I'll do some alterations to it. Alright, let's get all that good and in time. And then let's get a snare in there. I might use something from this R&B kit. That's actually kind of nice. That was the very first one I hit. So this sample isn't perfect, and some of the actual elements are a little off. Like when you click them, it's a little bit delayed. So I'm gonna make sure that this all fits right. It's just a little bit off. Maybe just like a little tiny bit more. Alright, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sidechain sample to the kick drum and kind of give it a little bit of that pump. So we'll create a bus, send it there, pull up our mixer. I think I sent it here. Turn it up all the way. We'll put a compressor on here. Sometimes I go and like just start clicking things and I don't really know what I'm looking for. We're gonna really make that nice. Alright, and then we're gonna, I want this, I know I'm supposed to, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but I just kind of want to make this kick a little nicer for now. So I like to start with this low end kick, bring that down because that's outrageous. Let's bring this up. Let's just bring this to there. See how that sounds. Okay, let's put a little reverb on that. I kind of like to come down here to small spaces, and I think this is what I like to do. Yeah, that sounded nice. Alright, now let's mess with this thing. I don't know, let's try this. I definitely want to take a lot of this out. I kind of want to just isolate those snaps. Yeah. Let's mess with this now. This will be fun. Bring all of these down. And then bring all of it up. I don't know if I'm ready for bass yet. I don't even know what to do next. Alright, so I think I'm finally happy with where it's at. So let's go ahead and listen to a little bit of how it sounds all together now. So if you're a little confused as to why it sounds completely different, it's because I completely started over. I wasn't happy with how it was sounding, and I could not figure out how to make it sound good, so I just started over with Borderline, and I didn't record it. So, I'll just go ahead and show you what I did. So basically, I started with the sample, chopped it up just like I did the other one, right here. And what I did was I just kind of isolated the pieces that I wanted, and then put a little reverb on it, put a lot of reverb on it. This is a big space here. Yep. And then I put some tape delays on it, and then I side chained it to the kick because that's like my favorite thing to do. And it kind of just sounds like this on its own. So, then for the drums, every piece of the drum kit is actually sampled from the song. At the very beginning, there's almost a perfect isolated kick, snare, and hat, and so those are the three that I used, and I kind of just EQ'd them and put well, I didn't really do much to the kick or the snare, just kind of EQ'd it the way that I wanted it to sound. And then on the hats I put a spreader on there, kind of make it sound like it's just kind of all around you. And so this is what those all sound like on their own. So yeah, there's that little, that high-pitched sounding little keyboard synth thing in there with the kick, and I actually kind of like it. I like how it sounds when it's all together. And then if you want to just hear the sample sidechained with the kick, that sounds like... So you can see it kind of has a little like pulsating action. So then I just added some bass. So that is just an 808 that a plugin, 808 plugin that I have, EQ'd, and then I put a little bit of distortion on it, and then ran it through an amp, and kind of gives it the sound that it has. And the only other things I really added were, well, there's one more little sample, just that little bit to kind of bring it in, and then the only other thing that I added was, so in Borderline you may hear a little piano, and it almost sounds like a modulated honky-tonk kind of piano. So I kind of tried to replicate that a little bit and played some chords, and I added there's also a flute in Borderline, and so I kind of just made this flute sound that, like I just put a bunch of really weird effects on it, phasers. That's kind of what Tame Impala is, you know. Tame Impala is just one big modulator. So I'll just show you how those sound. So, and then you kind of heard what it sounds like all together. If not, then I'll link that. But yeah, so then, as you can see, I have many different versions that I kind of mastered. And this is the final one here. I'll just label that now. Final. And so here what I did, obviously it faded it out there, but I also put another phaser on there and kind of just ramped it up in parts that were like kind of leading into the next measure. So Kevin Parker loves to use phasers, and so that's kind of what the thought process was behind that. So yeah, I'm gonna try and be better about documenting myself making them. I just last night was just really feeling like working on it, and it was dark and I have no lights, so I can't do it. I can't film whenever it's dark, but I just wanted to work on it and see what I came up with, and that's what I ended up coming up with, and that's what's going to be used in the final video. Like I said, I'll try and be better about documenting it. If you like this format, I'm gonna do a lot more of this, just kind of showing how I'm making these remixes, and hopefully I'll get better over time, and maybe I'll actually get a more modern version of Logic to work with. We'll see. We'll see. If you haven't listened to Tame Impala's new album, Slow Rush, I recommend checking that out. I love it. Some people, it's not for them. It's definitely his most pop album, but I think it's really cool. And if you haven't seen Middle 8's new video, which hopefully will be out by the time I put this up, then you should definitely check that out too. Frank makes awesome content. He puts a lot of work into it, and he is very dedicated. So check that out. and you'll be able to hear this in the intro of his video. So let me know if you like this style of video, if you want to see more of it, because I'm thinking about doing this for all of them. Not the past ones, but from here on out. Catch ya on the flip side.